I'm wondering if you have a piece of advice that you would give other nonprofits when it comes to going virtual. A lot of the time, we run into when we're talking to clients or potential clients or other nonprofits, they have a fear of doing that. It seems too difficult, or it seems like something they're not going to be able to accomplish. They're so used to having that in-person event. They know the way it runs, they're familiar with it. And so it's kind of stepping into this new unknown territory. And I'm wondering if you have any piece of advice, because you've been through it, you lived through it, and you did it successfully. What would you tell them about going virtual, or even in this kind of era right now would be like the hybrid situation where you have a little bit of both?
Right. Yeah, I think it's so interesting too because, the necessities of the past 2 years made it, like we had to go virtual, and I
Right.
don't know that that certainly wouldn't have been our choice
Mhm.
before that, but I think that, having been sort of directed in that decision by circumstances outside our control, it was a great opportunity for us to see how things could go,
Right.
and that they could go very well. I mean, I think one of the things that is so hard event planning is, trying to figure out like what your audience is going to show up for,
Sure.
not just in terms of like the content, but just in terms of like, okay, well, weeknights are bad for this group of people, but weekends are bad for this group of people, and like too soon after work is bad for this group of people, but
Right.
too late is going to alienate this group of people. With virtual, I think it gave us a lot more flexibility to attract a lot larger of and a lot more broad cross section of our supporters,
Sure.
because nobody had to travel anywhere.
Mhm.
People could log on and log in from wherever they were comfortable. They also didn't necessarily have to stay for the entire time, and while we would love for them to, and most people did, if people had another pressing commitment or something, it wasn't like they had to skip our event entirely. Also, the opportunity for people who were not able to attend at the actual live
Sure.
version to see the recording again and to still be able to give through Swell, meant that our event had an impact even beyond what the initial day it was. So
Sure.
I think it kind of, you know instead of looking at virtual as like um the necessary option in times of COVID, I think it's really interesting to look at it as a tool to expand your audience, to reach more people, to reach people who otherwise wouldn't be served by your event, who, for whatever reason, are not going to be able to attend in person. I think it really gives you an opportunity to reach more people